Be well, fish on. With those words, I learned about Real Recovery. A colleague of mine who's recovering from prostate cancer sent me to this website where I first heard about this amazing organization. I was blown away. As a 61-year-old guy, I'd been recovering from chemo and radiation for an esophageal tumor 2 years ago. Part of my own recovery has been heavily involved with fly fishing. When healing from cancer, just the feel of lines slinging through the guides of a fly rod can help make your whole world seem wonderful again. Try it. I guarantee it'll work for anyone. So I was particularly fascinated with Real Recovery, whose stated goal is to provide men who are recovering from cancer with the opportunity to combine fly fishing instruction with directed, courageous conversations. Real Recovery creates a unique experience for men with life-threatening cancer, a time to share their stories, learn or improve a skill, form lasting friendships, and gain renewed hope as they confront the challenges of cancer. I thought to myself, wow, that's a group I'd really love to be a part of. I called Stan Golub, the executive director, and he said I was in for the Clearwater House retreat in Northern California at the end of October, my absolute favorite time of the year for fly fishing. 3 days and 2 nights with other cancer-recovering guys who are or are about to become passionate practitioners of fly fishing. Clearwater House is located on Hat Creek, one of America's most precious and productive trout streams. Clearwater House offers a combination of comfortable accommodations, charm, first-class meals and service, and accessible fly fishing expertise. It sounded like the perfect outing. Some of us who arrived early went over and took a look at the water right on the property. Did you see that rise? How about that one over there? It got our fishing juices flowing early. Pretty soon everyone was showing up and we all started to get to know one another. Registration was quick and easy. Name tags helped those of us with chemo brain keep track of one another. Real Recovery Board of Directors President Jim Cloud welcomed us as we gathered together for the first time. We do this several times during the next few days. Jim told us about Stuart Brown and how his losing battle with brain cancer provided the foundation for Real Recovery. It was Stu's determination to give to others that formed the cornerstone of Real Recovery. As an avid fly fisherman, Stu spent many hours in the 3 years after his cancer diagnosis in the peaceful beauty of the Colorado waters. He dedicated his final months to the creation of Real Recovery in May of 2003, so that other men facing similar battles could experience the healing serenity that fly fishing had offered him. In Stu's last weeks, in failing health, he summoned his strength to meet with world champion and cancer survivor Lance Armstrong. Stu is determined to share with Lance his vision of Real Recovery and the importance of this program to future cancer survivors. Stu's inspiring courage was met with a generous hand in return. The Lance Armstrong Foundation provided Real Recovery with a startup grant that ensures Stu's legacy will live on through this organization for many years to come. Jim also told us that this particular retreat was being sponsored by grants from the John Wayne Cancer Foundation and fishing equipment manufacturer Wright & McGill, and of course a generous amount of help from Dick Galland and his fabulous Clearwater House staff. We're all grateful for their help. Program Director Coy Thibault spoke to us next. Coy has a 20-year career in counseling psychology with a particular emphasis on men's support groups. An avid fly fisherman, Coy designed the Courageous Conversation program that we were embarking on under his leadership. He got us started by sharing our own early fishing experiences.
My name is Adrian. The first time I can remember fishing was with my dad and a friend of his. Some creek, a lot of trees overhanging the creek.
My name's Harvey, and a couple of short stories. When I was 6 years old, what I remember going with my father and my grandfather in probably a little motorboat.
After dinner the first evening, Coy gently guided us into telling our own personal cancer stories, an hour or so that brought us all much closer together right away. After a great night's sleep, getting out onto the water was high on our list of priorities as we enjoyed a very tasty and fortifying breakfast from the Clearwater House kitchen and served by our very own Real Recovery staff. Another short, courageous conversation after breakfast allowed the light frost on the lawn outside to melt down and let the air warm up before we headed out. Coy shared a very inspiring story from a book called Fly Waters about healing and cancer treatment.
I was pronounced drug resistant. Anybody there yet?
Finally, it was time to pick up a fly rod and get the hang of handling line. Real Recovery provided all the equipment for us. Under the expert guidance of Bob Macias, we learned the basics, hands-on.
Elbows tight to the body, and all you simply do is pick it up, cast like that. Wrist remains firm.
And it didn't take long to pick up enough casting skill to reach those wily rainbows.
Look at that! That's almost 30 feet you looped that out there in less than 10 minutes.
If you're doing it correctly, you should just shoot lines.
That's impressive.
Thanks to the generous help from our sponsors, each of us was outfitted with waders, wading boots, caps, and fly fishing vests. The vests are used all around the country at various retreats, and so we added our signature of support for all future participants before we donned everything and headed for the river. Another very important element of Real Recovery is the participation of fly fishing buddies, men who are from the local area and who volunteer to help out and guide each fisherman one-on-one. These guys provide valuable help with our fishing skills and knowledge, as well as camaraderie when we're on the water. In the course of the retreat, everyone got to fish with 3 different fishing buddies, truly an opportunity to make new and lasting friendships.
I'm going to string it right onto your tip at the boat and fly.
During that first morning, several participants caught their first fish on a fly rod, a truly memorable experience. Before we knew it, it was lunchtime back at Clearwater House.
Wow, look at that fish. That video? Yeah.
That was an appetizer. The main dish starts after lunch.
After lunch, all attention went back to the river as everyone had the whole afternoon to fly fish in the glorious October sunshine. The brilliantly colored fall foliage, the crisp edge to the autumn air, the familiar aroma of burning leaves, that feeling of peacefulness and contentment and harmony with nature. And those magnificent rainbows just kept rising all afternoon, and we were nailing them. One of the important lessons of the on-stream experience is the philosophy and practice of catch and release fly fishing. And our guys had a first-hand opportunity to catch and release their first trout on a fly rod. It's quite a thrill. And what better way in the world to end an afternoon of outdoor magnificence than to return to a roaring fireplace to share those magic moments on the river. Dinner is always an anticipated time at Clearwater House. The accommodating kitchen crew took good care of all guests with a healthful, nourishing, and just plain delicious spread to refuel us for another day on the river. And service is provided by the Real Recovery staff. After all they do for us during the day, they have enough energy to continue to service dinner. High praise is due for these guys. After dinner, during another courageous conversation with Coy, the whole day came together as we shared how fly fishing is like our lives after cancer.
And maybe that's something I certainly take home with me, is that I can get better. I can get better physically and spiritually, and I can get better fishing.
It was a day I should have had for the last 22 years, because it was just exactly what I wanted to do in this place on this day.
And all of a sudden I got a little turned around and he said, set the hook. And there he was. Now, how is that like with me and cancer in my life? Things are going to come just when you least expect it. That's fly fishing.
And all I could think of was at about 4:30 today, when my legs were really hurting and aching, there was one more cast. One more cast, because I knew I could get that last fish.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, you just get out there and you just fish every cast. You do it.
If you worry like you're not going to catch fish, you're less apt to catch fish. And so I think you're more apt to succeed by just being persistent.
I saw all these gentlemen acting like kids. I mean, they were just zipping around, and they were the ones that were on the bank were, you know, they're helping each other with stuff, and they're looking, and then this guy's catching fish, and this guy's catching fish, and they're flopping off, and everybody's jumping around. It's like they're yelling to everybody, look, and this is at the end of a pretty long day.
The next morning found us up early, ready for another morning on the water. As breakfast was being prepared, memories from yesterday flooded the library and the living room. The weather had brought us some light rain overnight, but everyone was anxious to get back to the serious play of fly fishing.
About the weather, I think it's going to be a great day. We're going to have a huge hatch. We're all going to catch fish.
The aroma of fresh brewed coffee and hot off the grill sausages and pancakes on the second morning drew us together at the table for another great Clearwater House meal. And of course we showed our appreciation to the cook.
We'd love for you to hear what these men are talking about. If you'd like.
For our last morning courageous conversation, Coy invited our fishing buddies to sit around and listen to us. It was another opportunity to build lasting bonds between fishing buddies and participants.
Just the camaraderie and the feeling that I got from, it was such a special feeling that I was in God's arms at that moment, and never forget that as long as I live.
I think the patience for me of not being exasperated like my dad or my older brothers probably was the best thing for me, because I could focus on what they're saying rather than feeling like a fool.
Yeah.
Like, what did I do to deserve this? I mean, this is like a once in a lifetime thing.
You got cancer.
I got cancer. So
that's what you did to deserve.
Well, that's my reward for cancer. So
Yeah.
I get a lot of rewards here and there.
I know. We'll talk about those.
And so we've had some pretty in-depth sharing and conversations, and some of these men that have spoken and that will speak this morning have never had any other man to tell their story to, for whatever reason. And this is the first opportunity they've had to really tell their story. So you are truly in a sacred space right now. It's important that you understand that. I know you do. You sense it already.
The evening before, Coy had asked us to ponder the question of what gifts do you have in your life today because of your experience with cancer.
It's one gift that leads to a series of gifts, is just the heightened appreciation for life.
I enjoy everything anymore. It's my favorite. Whatever.
That's right.
I'll go anywhere, do anything. I like it. I have fun doing it.
And I just figured out that I can have freedom now.
You got some freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You've been giving so much of your life to other people for so long. You're an amazing man, Ed. And what a gift that you realize that, you know what? Time to take a little time for Ed. A little freedom for Ed. That's wonderful.
Thanks.
What are you going to do with your freedom?
Go fish. And as we were talking, I think the importance of reducing stress in my life and the importance of a positive attitude, I think a lot of people are saying.
And I'm thankful that I am living day to day and seeing more of the beauty in people and in life.
Just because I've gotten lucky again, if this thing comes back as it could easily do, I'm skating on thin ice, and if it bites me on the ass, I haven't lost it. A change has happened that is permanent, and that's a great gift.
We're all actually cancer survivors.
Right.
You know, and there's a lot of people who didn't survive. And I don't know if we got something in us that helped us, or if we're just lucky. And I'm a little humbled, by it, but I'm also a little proud too that I'm able to be here, and I've been 11 years since I was diagnosed originally.
The day that we were diagnosed with cancer, we became survivors. That's a great thing.
The best thing that happened to me since I got cancer is
I'm now able to work part-time, which leaves me much more time to go fishing.
We're here for a purpose. I'm convinced that God has a plan for all of our lives, whatever it may be. And I need to be available to fulfill that. And stop this game plan. Because there aren't too many years left to do it.
You were given the 6 months also?
Yeah.
And where are you now? How far?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years, that's right. Great. How many were given 6 months? Wow. That's great.
But then I talked to the doctor, and I said, look, I can't pay you off for 6 months, so they didn't give me more time.
My gift has been clarity, because I now have the additional choice of picking up which ones I want to continue to be a part of my life. And those things have really given me clarity and importance in moving forward throughout the rest of my life. And that's my gift.
That morning provided more time for reflection, thoughts of rivers and still water to come, inspired by the rich collection of fly fishing art and photography on the walls of Clearwater House, as well as the extensive fly fishing library and the memorabilia, antique rods and reels. That morning was a chance for each of us to connect to fly fishing in our own individual way. And it's such a rich activity with diversity and depth that many individual interests may be fulfilled while gaining pleasure and a great sense of wholeness with nature. A perfect meditation for a lot of people, and a perfect healing helper for many cancer survivors. It was informally around the fireplace that last morning that I began to truly appreciate the healing power of the Real Recovery Retreat experience. That combination of a compassionate staff, a nurturing environment, an exhilarating fly fishing experience, and realizing that we all belong to the same club. We're all cancer survivors, and that's what matters most. After a delicious and nourishing lunch, we all gathered out on the front lawn. It seemed like everyone was there, participants, fly fishing buddies, Real Recovery and Clearwater House owners and staff, everyone who helped make this amazing 3 days possible. Dick Galland and his wife were presented with this plaque to show the organization's appreciation for their outstanding help and support.
Partner helping men with cancer.
Then it was our last circle together. Never at a loss for questions, Coy threw out the final idea for us to ponder and share.
And the question is, what are you taking from this experience? What are you taking from this experience?
Commonality with people. Courage and strength. Right on, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wayne.
So it's just aware of what the other fellows are dealing with daily. That it's different types of cancers.
Thanks, George.
The feeling of a very safe space, and it had to be not only the people that have the building here, but all the people I've met. And I thank you for that. Thanks for allowing me to come.
I don't have a lot of men friends other than in business that I confer with, and this is really neat just to be able to be friends with a group of guys.
Left everything else behind except ourselves, and we've talked about that, and that's a new experience for me, and it's nice to be able to take that.
The best fishing experience of my life, and especially to share it with each and every one of you, and it makes the pain of cancer go away. Couldn't be a better spot.
And I kind of appreciate the diversity of the men here, you know, and are all cancer survivors, and that diversity gives me a breadth of widening, you know, what's okay for me to do, you know, and just do what I can do, and feel connected to this wider group, wider world from this group.
I'm Richard. I'm taking home a pair of wet waders that I caught some fish in. Yay! I've never caught fish before, so
But you caught the water with no problems.
Thrilled about that, and I'm taking home the sense of connection and love in my heart for all the men and all the people here, and just a renewed energy
Well, let's see, I've now got a list of about 25 places I need to come back and fish to put on top of the 300 that I already had. So that's 325. So if I divide that by 5 every day, I'm going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
And one of the things that men have done for hundreds of thousands of years is they've blessed one another. They've honored each other. Our goal was to honor you during these last 3 days, to treat you like kings, to be your servants, and to make you feel special. And if you felt that for any moment in these last 3 days, then our job was fulfilled.
Every
Our mission
moment.
was done.
Yeah, no question.
And I would just like to bless each one of you individually. We have a saying that you've seen on the back of our shirts that's "Be well, fish on." That has a lot of different meanings, a lot of depth of meanings. And I would just like to bless each one of you right now. Be well, fish on.
Thank you, Clay.
Albert, put my hand over your heart. Bless you. Be well, fish on. Fish. Be well, fish on.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Slayer. You had a big heart. Be well, fish on. Thank you. Thank you. Bernard. Be well, fish on.
Thank you.
It's an honor to meet you. Ed 1. Be well, fish on. Thanks. Ed 2. Be well, fish on. Take care of yourself. Harvey. You got an actor in you that wants to come out more, I think. That's what I think. There's a drummer in you that wants to come out, but your neighbors don't want it to.
We're getting letters already.
That's right. Thank you for being here. Be well, fish on.
Thank you.
Take care. George, you get the award for coming the furthest and talking the most. Oh, you've got a great heart, great spirit. Be well, fish on.
Thank you.
Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Oh, Adrian, get out of that chair.
Okay.
Get your ass out of that chair, boy.
It's about time.
It's about time, that's right. Get back in the game. It's not over yet. Get back in the game. Be well. Fish on.
Thank you.
You got a dog in your way there.
Get him out of that chair.
I just thinking, like I said, I've got one route on the way home. First one's to drop that damn chair off.
Good. Take care. I'm so happy for you. And this new life of fly fishing you discovered. And a fly tire that lives in the same house. You're in business.
Oh, I tell you what, makes my glasses fog up.
Be well, fish on.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Thank you so much.
Dale.
Buddy there.
Dog's in your way there.
That's all right, no problem. The dog belongs here, knows it. Be well, fish on.
No, he's still careful.
Take care. God bless you. So we take our right hands and put them in with our thumbs going to the left, and you grab the thumb, grab them. There you go. Grab those thumbs. There we go. The hands that you see are a circle of power and friendship, connection. Hands that have fought many battles with cancer in life and that are not done yet. They are not done yet. Use your hands to support one another. The last thing we do at a Real Recovery Retreat is with our full voices, we throw our hands up in the air and we yell, "Be well, fish on!" 1, 2, 3. Be well, fish on! Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Very much.
Be well, take care. You guys don't run off. I want to get some pictures. Fish with you, Dale. There you go.
Hey, thanks, Todd.
Appreciate your,
Get your dancing shoes ready.
Yeah, we will. Hope we will.
We will.
Todd, thank you.
Well, memento.
Whoa. Easy for you.
Everybody.
Bernard.
You got one?
Looking forward for a pass to Kansas City.
Well, we'll hook up again. Thank you. Did you make any of these? Have to use up all those. Great. There's a lot of.
Hey, we need some guys.
Yeah.
I'd like to sign my vest.
Oh,
Sure, there's somebody.
Good luck to you, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh no. There were more fly boxes than there were. Thanks again. I don't know about this guy.
Good to see you too, Coy. You do good work.
Thank you. Feel called to it.
Oh, you live in one county? I got my vest inside. You signed it? Sure will. You're ready.
Ready, yeah, and I go to Lake County all the time.
Okay, well, give me a call if you're coming to Lake County.
I would love to, man. I would love to.